Hopefully it's nice. I think it's in blue. Yeah, no, I did. Good to see you. I know. No, I did. If I knew it won't work. Yeah, you sure did. Unless you have a split personality, then you can only think of yourself.
I'm always
I say yes, but sometimes I don't.
That's fine. Right? That big thing that you showed me.
Well, I wasn't sure.
Good morning and namaste. If I haven't met you before, my name is Dan, and we're glad that you're here. This is an all levels yoga class, so I'll offer several different options throughout the class. Usually I'll start with the most accessible version and then give you ways to progress it from there. If there's anything that we're practicing today that is not landing in your body, don't feel like you have to go into any particular pose or go into a full expression of any pose. You know your body better than I do, so you're always welcome to do something else that you know from a previous yoga experience or something that happened earlier in the class. Let's see. We usually teach Mondays and Wednesdays at 10. Today's a Wednesday. It's going to be a little bit more of a vinyasa style flow class. A little bit more movement, a little bit more activity than my typical Monday class, which is closer to a yin style class. Next week I will not be here on Wednesday. There is a sub. I don't remember who it is, but there's someone going to be here. think those are my announcements. Okay. And we'll begin with a little bit of meditation. Take some time to settle into the room. Find your sitting bones, 2 points of pressure in your seat. And allow your spine to stack directly over those 2 points. Root down into the earth as the crown of your head rises up towards the ceiling. This position is challenging for you. You're always welcome to sit on a block. Reconnect with your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. More together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. Continue on your own with your own breath. Feel free to shut your eyes or unfocus your eyes if that feels safe for you. Return to the present moment by coming back to your breath as you notice your mind wandering. Bring your attention back to the room. And place your right hand on your left knee, your left hand behind you. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, look over your left shoulder towards the back of the room. Continue to lengthen your spine up as you twist. Exhale and release. Switch sides. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Your right hand behind you. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, look over your right shoulder towards the back of the room. Exhale and release. Inhale, bring both arms overhead, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach down and forward, and release your forehead towards your ankles. Inhale, work your hands to the right until your face is above your right leg. Exhale, release back to center. Inhale, work your way over to the left until your face is above your left leg. Exhale, and release back to center. Inhale, sit up. Bring your hands behind your back, clasp your hands together, straighten your elbows, broaden your chest, and look up towards the ceiling. Exhale and release. And switch your feet. Inhale, bring both arms overhead. Exhale, reach down and forward. Release your forehead down towards your ankles. Inhale, work your hands to the left. Bring your face over your left leg. Exhale, return back to center. Exhale, return to center. Inhale, sit up, circle your hands behind you, clasp your hands together. Broaden your chest, look up towards the ceiling, move your hands away from your lower back. An option to stick out your tongue and try to touch your chin. Exhale and release. Bring your feet more than hip width apart in front of you. And your hands behind you. Exhale, windshield wipe your legs down to the right until your left knee is next to your right heel. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, windshield wipe in the other direction. Continue with your breath at your own pace. We'll meet with our knees pointing to the right. And inhale, sit up tall, turn towards the back of the room. Exhale, come down onto your elbows. Or extend your hands all the way out and release your forehead down to the mat with full sleeping deer. Exhale, work your way back up. Inhale, return to your windshield wipers. With our knees pointing to the left or towards the windows. Inhale, sit up tall, turn towards the back of the room. Exhale, come down onto your elbows, or reach your hands all the way up and release your forehead down towards the mat, the full sleeping deer. Exhale, work your way back up. Inhale, return to windshield wipers. Complete a cycle with your knees pointing to the left. Inhale, return. And then bring your feet and knees together. Bring your hands underneath your knees. Inhale, lift your feet, sit back onto your tailbone, and come into boat. Option to bring your hands out to the side. Another option is to straighten your knees all the way. Finally, if you want to come down into low boat, inhale, come down. Exhale, come up to high boat. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat. And release. Bring the sole of your left foot into your inner right thigh. Place your left hand behind you and to the left. Inhale, lift your hips, reach your right hand back and past your right ear. Exhale, sit down and stretch towards your right toes. Always an option to do this with a strap around the bottom of your right foot. Exhale and release. Place your left hand behind you and to the left. Inhale, reach your right arm back past your right ear. Lift your hips, find a stretch on your right side. Exhale, sit down and stretch towards your right toes. Option to add a twist to this by bringing your left hand to the outside of your right foot or ankle and look over your right shoulder towards the back of the room. Place your right hand behind you for a little bit more balance. Exhale, release, and sit up. Switch your feet. Bring the sole of your right foot into your inner left thigh. Place your right hand behind you and to the right. Inhale, reach your left hand back past your left ear. Lift your hip, find a stretch on your left side. Exhale, sit down and stretch toward your left toes. Option to do this with a strap around the bottom of your foot. Exhale, release and sit up. Place your right hand behind you and to the right. Inhale, lift your left hand back and your hips. Find a stretch on your left side. Exhale, sit down and stretch toward your left toes. Option to add a twist by bringing your right hand to the outside of your left foot or left ankle. Turn to look over your left shoulder towards the back of the room and reach your left hand back for some balance. Exhale, release. Sit up. Work your way into a tabletop position. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Your hands underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers. Engage your fingertips into the mat. Exhale, arch your back like a cat. Look toward your knees. Inhale, release your belly, broaden your chest, look forward. Continue cat-cow with your breath at your own pace. We'll do 5 of each position. If you're finding this intense on your wrists, anytime you're holding your weight with your hands, you're welcome to come up onto your knuckles. And return to a neutral back. Inhale, lift your right hand out and up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring your right elbow next to your left knee. Look up underneath your left arm towards the ceiling. Come all the way to the back of your head. And work your left hand forward. For more of a stretch, press your right elbow into the mat. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Inhale, open to the right, press through your left hand. Readjust your left knee in, then lift your right hand and right leg into a side plank. A few options here. If you'd like to add some balance, lift your right foot off the ground. If you'd like to come into a back bend, bend your right knee, and find your right ankle with your right hand. You're in the back bend. Inhale, open up. Everyone exhale and return to a tabletop position. Spread your knees mat width apart, bring your big toes together. And on an exhale, send your hips back to your heels and release your forehead down towards the mat into child's pose. As you inhale, allow your entire back to expand. Release your lower back. Exhale, return to tabletop position. Readjust your hands and knees. Inhale, lift your left hand out and up. Exhale, bring your left elbow next to your right knee, thread the needle, hook up underneath your right arm towards the ceiling, come to the back of your head, and work your right hand forward. More of a stretch, press your left elbow down into the mat. Bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Inhale, open up to the left. Readjust your right knee in, lift your left leg and your left hand and come into a side plank. For some balance, option to lift your left foot off the floor. Final option is bend your left knee, find your left ankle with your left hand and come into a back bend. If you're in the back bend, inhale, open up. Everyone exhale and return to a tabletop position. Inhale, lift your right leg back and up. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Option, bring a blanket underneath your left knee. On your next inhale, sink your hips down and forward, reach your hands up and forward, find a little back bend. Exhale, straighten your right knee, send your hips back, point your right toe towards the ceiling and bow your head down towards your knee. We'll do one movement per breath between these two positions. Inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, bow your head, straighten your knee. Inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, bow your head, straighten your knee. Inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, bow your head, straighten your knee. Inhale, come forward, bring your hands together into prayer and turn to the right by bringing your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Option to open your hands and increase your fist. Exhale, release your hands to frame your front foot. Inhale, lift your right leg back. Exhale, bring your right knee next to your left and your feet together as well. Flatten your ankles to the mat. And then send your hips back towards your heels and sit up. This is intense. You're always welcome to remain forward and hold a little weight into your hands. Inhale, bring your arms out wide. Exhale, give yourself a big hug or twist your forearms into eagle arms. More of a shoulder stretch. Bring your elbows up closer to your nose. Remember which arm is on top. Exhale and release. Inhale, open your arms wide. Exhale, cross the other way. Either give yourself a big hug or twist your forearms into eagle arms. Exhale and release and come forward onto your hands. And then spread your knees hip width apart. Inhale, lift your left leg back and out. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling and sink your hips down and forward. Find a little back bend. And exhale, straighten your right leg. Point your left leg, sorry. Bow your head down towards your knees, shift your hips back. We'll do one breath with each movement, or 3 times. Inhale, lift your arms up and forward. Exhale, bow your head and straighten your left knee. forward, reach up. Exhale. Bow your head straight in front. Inhale, come forward, reach up. Exhale, bow your head straight in front. Inhale, come forward, bring your hands together into prayer. And then turn to the left by bringing your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Option to open your hands and increase your twist. Exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Inhale, lift your left leg back and out. Exhale, bring your left knee next to your right. Engage your toes into the mat. And then send your hips back to your heels and sit up into a toe squat. Inhale, lift your arms up and forward. Exhale, cactus your arms, broaden your chest. Inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, release down and kick it out. Exhale, turn your toes over, send your hips back and up, and come into a downward facing dog. Walk your dog. If you like to get your heels closer to the ground, take a slight step in towards your hands. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, walk to your hands. Inhale, lift up halfway, work your feet mat width apart, point your toes away from each other. Exhale, come down into a yoga squat with your hands together between your knees. Shine your heart forward, broaden your chest, sink your hips down. Always an option to use a block as a seat in this position. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Inhale, straighten your knees, bring your feet hip width apart. Exhale, release down to a forward fold. And find your elbows with your hands. A little side-to-side motion and ragdoll. Exhale, release your hands to the mat, bend your knees. Inhale, rise up all the way. Bring your arms out and up. Exhale, release your hands to heart center. Center your weight over the arches of your feet. Unlock the knees and hips for an active stance. And then shift your weight over your right foot. Inhale, come into tree by lifting your left foot either in a kickstand onto your inner calf, or up above your knee joint onto your inner thigh. Bring your hands either into prayer or reaching up towards the ceiling. Allow your gaze to rest on a point in the room that's not moving. And rest in posture. Exhale and release. Take a moment to walk it out. And recenter your weight over the arches of your feet. Unlock your hips and knees. Shift your weight over to the left. Strengthen through your left leg and core. Inhale, lift your right foot into tree, either kickstand onto your inner calf, or above your knee joint onto your inner thigh. Bring your hands into prayer. Or reach them up towards the ceiling. Find a point in the room that's not moving. Rest your gaze on that point. Exhale and release. turn towards the mirror, and take a wide stance on your mat. Allow your toes to stay parallel. And then on your next inhale, bring your arms up, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the waist, reach your hands down to the floor. Plant your left hand, inhale, lift your right hand and twist to the right. Exhale, release your right hand down to the floor. Inhale, lift your left hand and twist to the left. Exhale, release your left hand down to the floor. Inhale, lift your arms out and up. And come all the way up. Exhale, bend and come all the way back down. Inhale, bend your right knee, work your hands to the right, keep your left leg straight. Exhale, return to center. Inhale, bend your left knee, work your hands to the left. Exhale, return to center. Continue at your own pace with your own breath. We'll do each side 3 times. After your 3rd time to the left, come back to center. And then on an exhale, begin to work your hands forward until you're in a really wide-legged downward facing dog. And bend your knees, release your knees down to the mat. Turn your toes to face away from each other. Come down onto your elbows. And on an exhale, send your hips back. Find a stretch in your inner thighs. And you're in frog. Come forward, come up onto your hands. Inhale, straighten your knees, come back up onto your feet. Turn your feet so that they're parallel. And come back into your wide-legged downward facing dog. Inhale, begin to work your hands back towards the center, then turn them around and keep walking underneath you. Release your forehead down. Bring your hands back to center. Inhale, lift your arms out and up, all the way overhead. Exhale, release your hands to heart center. Turn your toes to face outward, bend your knees. Bring your hands up as if you're serving plates at a restaurant. Horse. Inhale, lift your right heel. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift your left heel. Exhale, release. Continue with your own breath. We'll do 3 on each side. After you're done with your horse heels, on your next inhale, straighten your knees, reach your arms up, look up towards the ceiling, star. Exhale, release back to horse. Inhale, star. Exhale, horse. Inhale, star. Exhale, horse. On this next one, jump your feet together and come back to the top of your mat. Find your feet about hip width apart. Not wide. Bring your big toes together, your knees together, spread your heels slightly apart. Inhale, lift your arms overhead, look up. Exhale, come down into a chair. Bend your knees, bend your hips, and lean a little forward. Inhale, lift your right foot, flamingo. Exhale, step back, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up into a warrior two. Readjust your feet to form the shape of a T with your left heel in line with the arch of your right foot. Arms are parallel, your gaze rests on your left fingertips. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Option, bend both elbows and look for line in the center of your back. Exhale, release your left elbow to the inside of your left knee. Inhale, swing your right arm down and up past your right ear, side angle pose. On an inhale, reach your right hand up towards the ceiling, straighten your right knee, and reach your left hand down. You're in triangle. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat, bend your left knee, turn your right heel up. Plant your right hand. Inhale, lift your left hand, dragonfly twist. While you're there, work your left foot to the outside of your mat, point your toe out and away. Exhale, release your hand down to the mat, and then come down either onto a block or to the mat onto your elbows. Lizard. For a more accessible version of lizard, you're welcome to release your right knee down to the mat. Lift your right knee and then come up onto your hands. Work your left foot back in. Bring your left hand to the outside of your left foot. Inhale, lift your left leg back and up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your left knee next to your right elbow. Straighten your left leg, and then lift your right hand into a twist. Exhale, release your right hand back to the mat. Inhale, lift your left leg back and up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your left knee. Bring it behind your left wrist. Cross your shin underneath you. Sink your hips down to the mat. Come down to your elbows. Pigeon. This is intense on your left knee. Shift your weight off onto your left hip and move your torso to the left. If you'd like to come into full sleeping pigeon, reach your hands forward. Release your forehead down to the mat or to a block. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, straighten your elbows. Broaden your chest, look up towards the ceiling, and find a stretch in your right front hip. Place your block on its highest setting in front of your left hand. Then begin to work your right foot and knee in towards you. Bring your left hand to the block. Straighten your left shin so it becomes parallel with your right. Bend your right knee. Find your right ankle with your right hand. Turn to the right of the side pigeon. Closer your knee comes in, probably the easier this is. Two more options. Inhale, lift your left hand and exalt pose. Or if you'd like to come into a twisted exalted pose, just switch your hands on your foot. Lift your right hand forward and look to the left. Exhale, release your hands and foot down to the mat. Lift your right knee. Inhale, lift your left leg back and up, three-legged dog. Exhale, plant your left foot next to your right. Come forward into a plank. Option to come to your knees as we come down through chaturanga. Keep your elbows in close. Inhale, send your heart forward. Lift your shoulders, cobra. Then work your hands forward until you're on your forearms in Sphinx. If you'd you'd like to take this a little bit further, for a deeper back bend, straighten your elbows and come up a little higher. Keep your hips all the way down onto the mat. If you're all the way up, release your elbows down. Everyone bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Flip your toes over, and on an exhale, send your hips back and up. Downward facing dog. Take a step in towards your hands, and walk your dog. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, walk or hop to your hands. Inhale, lift up halfway, bring your hands to your shins, work your feet mat width apart. Point your toes away from each other. Exhale, come down into a yoga squat with your hands together between your knees. Shine your heart forward, sink your hips down. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. Inhale, straighten your knees and bring your feet back to hip width apart. Exhale, release down into a forward fold. And work your feet until your toes are together and knees are together, heels are slightly apart. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, rise up all the way. Exhale, come down into a chair. Inhale, lift your left foot flamingo. Exhale, step back, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up into a warrior two. Readjust your feet so that your right heel is in line with the arch of your left foot. Bring your arms parallel and rest your gaze on your front fingertips. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Option to bend both elbows. Look for a bind in the center of your back. Exhale, release your right elbow to the inside of your right knee. Inhale, swing your left arm down and around past your left ear, side angle pose. Inhale, straighten your right knee, lift your left hand up and reach your right hand down, triangle. Look up towards your left fingers. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the inside of your right foot. Turn your left heel up. Plant your left hand, inhale. Lift your right hand into a dragonfly twist. Work your right foot out to the outside of your mat and point your toe out and away. Exhale, release your right hand back to the mat. Come down onto your elbows, either on a block or all the way down to the mat. Lizard. For a more accessible version of lizard, release your left knee down to the mat. Exhale, come up onto your hands. Move your right foot back in and move your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Inhale, lift your right leg back and up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your right knee next to your left elbow and then straighten your right leg. Lift your left hand on a little twist. Exhale, release your left hand down to the mat. Inhale, lift your right leg back and up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your right knee, bring it behind your right wrist. Cross your shin underneath you. Sink your hips down into pigeon, come to your elbows. This is intense on your right knee. Shift your weight onto your right hip and move your torso to the right. If you'd like to come into full sleeping pigeon, reach your hands out in front of you and release your forehead down, either to the mat or to a block. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, straighten your elbows, run your chest, look up towards the ceiling. Find a stretch in your left front hip. Place your block in front of your right hand on its highest setting. And we'll begin to work our way into side pigeon. Move your left foot in towards you, left foot and knee. Turn your right shin so it's parallel with your left. Bring your right hand to the block. And then bend your left knee, find your left ankle with your left hand, and then turn to look towards your left. Welcome to stay here. If you'd like to exalt pose, lift your right hand. Final option is to come into a twisted exalted pose by switching your hands on your feet, lifting your left hand forward, and turning to look towards your right. And exhale, release your hands and foot down to the mat. Lift your left knee. Inhale, lift your right leg back and up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, plant your right foot next to your left. Come forward into a plank. Option to come to your knees as we come down through Chaturanga. Inhale. Lift your chest. Bring your arms back and out. Locust. And point your toes a little ways off the mat. You're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to come into full bow, bend both knees, find your ankles with your hands. Then send your hips down into the mat and lift your chest up. Exhale and release. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Spread your knees mat width apart. Then send your hips back to your heels. Child's pose. Exhale, come forward into tabletop position, then work your way into a seated position. Bring the soles of your feet together in front of you. Scoot your heels, getting close. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, release down and forward, and use your elbows to open up your inner thighs. Inhale and sit back up. Spread your feet out wide into a straddle seat. First option is bring your hands behind you. Inhale, sit up tall and press. And lean forward with your chest. If you're getting a stretch here, stay here. If you'd like to go further, inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, reach down and forward. Release your forehead down towards the mat. Or you can use your legs to help pull you down and forward. Inhale and sit up. Bring the soles of your feet together in front of you. This time a ways away. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, come down and forward. If you're not feeling much in your outer hips and lower back, work your hands underneath your ankles and come down onto your elbows and pull your upper body down and forward. Inhale and sit up. Have your block accessible to you. Work your way down onto your back. Use it in a little bit. Bend your left knee. Keep your right leg straight. Inhale, lift your hips by pressing through your left foot. Turn your hips to face the right, and then bring your left knee down and across to the right. Use your right hand to help you. Reach your left hand out to the left, and turn your head to look at your hand. Looking for a big twist from your tailbone up through your neck. Exhale and release. Untwist, bend your right knee, straighten your left leg. Inhale, press through your right heel, lift your hips, turn them to face the left. Bring your right knee down and across to the left. Use your left hand to help you get there. Reach your right hand out to the right and turn your head to look at your right hand. For a twist in your spine from your tailbone up through your neck. Exhale and release. Untwist. Bend both of your knees, bring your feet in close to you, find your block. Inhale, lift your hips, place the block underneath your hips. Exhale, release down onto the block. Inhale, lift your feet into the legs of the wall. More accessible version, you're welcome to have your hands on the back of your thighs. You're also welcome to find a little movement into your legs from your ankles, knees, or hips. Exhale, release your feet down to the mat. Inhale, lift your hips, remove the block. Exhale, release your hips down. Inhale, bring your knees in towards your shoulders and find some circles going in both directions to massage your lower back. And then release down into Shavasana. Straighten your legs, allow your toes to point away from each other. Bring your shoulder blades down and together towards your spine. Broaden your shoulders. Shut or unfocus your eyes if that feels safe to you. And re-engage with your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. On your exhales, allow yourself to release tension through your body. Begin with your face by widening the circles around your eyes. Release your jaw and tongue. Soften your throat. Begin to scan down the rest of your body. If you notice tension anywhere, allow yourself to release it. Allow your attention to return to the room. Make your way into a seated position. Thank you for joining me today in this group experience. I encourage you to continue taking time for yourself so you can be present for others in your life. Light in me sees and respects the light in each and every one of you. Have a wonderful rest of your week and Wednesday.
Yeah. I know, maybe. Very energetic. That's why I picked over here. It's easier, just. No. That's why.
Thanks, Dan.
What's nice is that we're more points.